We did a video not long ago talking about how we have a Himalayan balsam problem here.
It's Himalayan balsam and it's probably the biggest problem we have here. And it's going to take years to fix.
It's that plant there with the pink flowers. And the reasons why it's terrible and the reasons why we're struggling to get rid of it. And one of the things we mentioned in there was that the goats and the sheep, in fact none of the animals, were eating it. We have just realised in the pretty much last week, that they do appear to be eating it after all. Turn the camera around. For example, underneath these trees here, there was loads of it and it's all gone. And if you come over here, the other side of the electric fence, there's loads of it. This fence actually has been moved away from the balsam because it was starting to short out on it. Well, they appear to be eating it. Is that a good thing? Actually, this is an interesting bit here. Turn the camera around again. That bank there, I'll put some footage up of Jen cutting that bank this time last year, and it was absolutely crazy. And this year, there's none of it. Now, some of that's down to us cutting it, but we can't stay on top of it. And it appears that the goats are doing it for us. Now, the seeding bit is interesting because people have been saying, it's now the end of July, they're saying it's tough luck that they're eating it now, it's too late, because they're eating viable seeds. They'll then scatter them through their goat poop everywhere and it'll create a bigger problem. But I've been researching it and I'm not quite so sure it's as simple as that. Lots of studies seem to indicate that the seeds don't pass through the digestive system of a ruminant, goat is multiple stomached animal, quite as simply as people are suggesting. I read one study that said only 2% of the seeds survive. Other studies say a higher percentage, but to be honest, if they're killing some of the seeds, they're killing some of the seeds. Here's the plan. What I've done today is I've cut a path through here, which now runs through there. Okay, the idea is to run electric through here. So we're going to run electric all the way up here, all the way up here. The reason we need electric, we can't just let them wander around here, is because if they wander far enough in that direction, there's no fence on our outer border there. So they're going to get to be able to eat all that behind me there, and eat all that. And I could have gone just straight up there, which would have been easy. Could have got up there, but I cut through here with the brush cutter and cut a path up there as well. So they're also going to get to eat this. And we'll see, does it work? Because if it does, it gives us confidence that next year, when we can fence everything properly, all of that can get eaten as well. So what I need to do now is to run this fence. And then tomorrow morning, because it's now the evening, we'll let them out in the morning and we'll see what they do. Let's get this fence run. Okay, done. Now I just need to, what do I need to do now? Go and turn the fence back on and then we're done. I'll come and check it in the morning. Okay, so here we are, next day. They've been out here for a bit and they are the right side of the fence. So they've got all that patch down there to do. So let's film from the top here. So there's my path through. So we've got all of this chunk here and obviously underneath all these trees here. So all under here. Hey sheep, how you doing, buddy? And then here, it'd be handy if they do this because it means I can get into that tree that's in there and drag that tree out. And it's going to make my job so much easier because, for example, this ditch here that they've cleaned, I say ditch, it's literally flat across there. I need to come through here with the digger and clear this out. You can just see the pipe there where water should be able to run through. What happens instead is water comes down here, and because this is all filled in, the water spills out over the side here and then soaks this ground. So got to clear that ditch out. But when it's filled with brambles and Himalayan balsam and stuff, it's hard to see what I'm doing. But now I can bring the digger right in there and clear it. Right, it is the end of day 3, and fair to say, it's worked. Here we go. They have demolished, what would you call that? 90% of the Himalayan balsam. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. The same. Weirdly, they haven't touched this little patch here. Although it might be, well, I say they haven't touched it. Actually, there they have. Look, they've gone in there. I think it's because they've been focused on clearing all of this. Yeah, here we are. Gone. All those seed heads are gone. And I can see that tree in there that I've got to clear out. And this is how we're clearing things here. And again, don't forget, got the woods over there, got acres of wild areas that are completely out of control. This is our path along the river, and it's clearly blocked. So now I can see that tree. I can get in there with a chainsaw, chop it all up. What's interesting, I guess, is next year, because it doesn't work to just allow the balsam to go wild and then have the goats come in and do this at the last minute. So the hope is that what they've done there does actually make a difference. The best case scenario, of course, would be that where they've cleared, you know, these spots behind me, no balsam there whatsoever. This ditch here, well, there just won't be any or hardly any Himalayan balsam there at all. And what there is, you know, a few here and there we can manage quite easily. Yeah, so worst case is that they have just scattered the seeds everywhere, and it's even worse next year. I guess we don't know until next May, when the seeds will start popping up. The goats can be a monumental pain in the neck. So if this works, they would have justified themselves and justified the hassle and the inconvenience of having them. Almost. Right, a little bit of a wrap up. We're now 4 days of the goats being out here, and they have absolutely cleared the area. I mean, couldn't have asked for more. That is perfect. I can get in there now and deal with that fallen tree. And then around here. All gone. All gone. Nothing left. This side of the electric fence, nothing at all. Cleared it. All down there, all gone. Absolutely amazing. In fact, I tried taking down the fence because I wanted them to hop over and start on the rest of it, but they're still a bit scared of the fence, even though it's often lying on the floor, so they haven't bothered going over there. Now, what does this mean for Himalayan balsam seeds next year? I don't know. If we look at these, you can see they're all ready to start popping. They're not popping yet. The way these work is they literally explode when they're ready to pop, and they're not doing that yet. So they aren't naturally scattering themselves. The fact that they have all gone here and been turned into goat poo, I don't know what the implications of that will be. Can a balsam seed survive being in the tummy of one of these guys? If they can't, we might have a very much easier time of things next year. Don't miss the most important bit. Who wants the seeds? So yeah, all in all, goats work.